what's up guys, it's Cypher from SypherPK.com, and today I'm bringing you my updated Stamina Nightblade 2H and bow build. I finally got the Maelstrom mace, so that's why I've been holding off on doing this build, and I really wanted to wait until I got the Maelstrom mace. And honestly, I would not run this build without the Maelstrom two-handed sword, or mace or axe, whatever you're using. So finally got it in the mail from the weekly reward, so let's get right into this. I like to make my build videos short and sweet, to the point. This is a 2H and bow build. Our front bar, we have Critical Rush. Now I know some people are going to be asking, why are you not using Ambush? Well, I do want to take advantage of the bleed that the Maelstrom mace offers. So I'm using it for the Maelstrom 2H passive, where after you critical charge someone, you deal an extra 5.1k physical damage over 5 seconds. So you really take advantage of that passive. You could still use Ambush with this setup, but I prefer to use Critical Rush. Now, on top of that, we're using Surprise Attack, obviously, Fear, and Rally. Soul Harvest for our Execute. Not our Execute. You kind of can use it as an Execute if you wanted to, but it's our ultimate. It's going to give us a DPS boost, and it's very cheap. Now, some people will say, why don't you use Dawnbreaker for extra damage? And you could boost your damage quite a bit. But the problem that I have with Dawnbreaker is, one, it costs a lot more, and then two, you don't get the heal debuff, and I think the heal debuff is the important part of this build, or this ability in general, especially when you're trying to 1vx and take out Templars and healers or people who have just really high healing capabilities. The 30% heal debuff that you apply to them for 6 seconds after hitting them with the Soul Harvest is enough to get the kill sometimes, and that's why I like Soul Harvest. Now over here we have Executioner. Now this is a little controversial as far as what some Stam Nightblades run. I run Executioner. I love the Execute. I like to use it, especially against sorcerers or people who throw on damage shields when they're low health. You can rip through their damage shields a lot better through Executioner. I've hit anywhere from like 14k to 17k executes on low health targets, so it's really a lot of damage, especially if they're low health. And if you don't want to run Executioner and boost your regen and just flat damage, you can run Relentless Focus here, or Relentless Focus on your back bar and put something else on your front bar. And I'll show you what I'm running my back bar as well. So this is an option right here. You can put Relentless Focus if you really wanted to, but I like Execute. Back bar, we got Dark Cloak, we got Ice Comet. You can put Soul Tether here if you wanted to as well, or Dawnbreaker if you just want to boost your bow damage, which is not a bad idea, but you know, you have a few options here. Now, Dark Cloak is a given, Vigor is a given. Poison Injection. If you don't want to run Poison Injection, there's a few other bow abilities you can run. You can run Volley because I am using the Maelstrom Bow, so you can take advantage of the passive that it gives, but I haven't really messed with that too much. I do plan to give it a shot. I do really like the Poison Injection dot and execute potential. You could also use Arrow Spray to pull Nightblades out of stealth and root your opponents from a distance, just to work on your CC game a little better. And if you really want to, you can put Snipe, but I don't like to play with Snipe. It's a little too slow for my playstyle. Now, over here, the one that's not really a given is Piercing Mark. I absolutely hate Nightblades, as in I hate fighting against them, so I understand why. You'll understand why I'm running Piercing Mark. A lot of Nightblades nowadays, especially the ones that are not that great, as soon as you mark them, they're pretty much useless at that point. They forget how to play and they die pretty quickly. So instead of having to worry about a Nightblade who has a really, really good build, but they're not that great as a player, and they're just putting a lot of damage and hitting you from stealth, you just mark them and you finish them off really quickly. That's how I like to take care of a lot of the Nightblades. Now, you're going to run into some good Nightblades who know what they're doing while marked, but those are far and few in between. So I don't really like Nightblades, so I'm running Piercing Mark so I can kill them. I know it's ironic, this is a Nightblade build, but you could also run Siphoning Strikes if you wanted to. You can also run Relentless Focus. You can also run Shadow Image just to improve your survivability. And you can also run Camo Hunter if you just want to get that extra critical bonus. But if you were going to run Camel Hunter, Camouflage Hunter, you would want to put on your 2H bar preferably, and put something else from your 2H bar on your bow bar. But this is my preferred setup, the Mark Target, because it's just really, really easy counter to Nightblades, and it's an extra heal when you kill someone, so it's not that bad. I like it this way. So, as people always ask, Cypher, you never show the passives on your build videos. Guys, you just want to take every single passive that you can. Like, read the passive. If you feel like it's going to help you, just take it. Obviously, you want all the Nightblade classes, all the 2H, all the bow classes, all the medium armor passives. And if you're wearing light or heavy for whatever reason, if you're doing 511 or 7, which both work on this build, you want to take all those passives as well. You want to take all the Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, like just take all the passes, guys. All the passes. It's really this is an Imperial, but you could run this with pretty much Imperial, Red Guard, Wood Elf, Khajiit, Orc. Those are my top picks. Did I forget anything? Red Guard, yeah. Red Guard, Wood Elf, Imperial, Khajiit, Orc. Those are my top picks. Dark Elf also kind of works because of the max stamina, but the other races can run this, but they're not going to be as effective. And also you want the alchemy passives to increase your potion use. Let's look at the armor really quickly. I'm running 5 Hunting's Rage. As you can see, I have a few tri-stat glyphs on the Hunting's Rage. You can do that if you want to. It's just, I was using this on my DK, so I just transferred it over. 5 Hunting's Rage on the body, 1 Blood Spawn, 1 Molekina. You'll notice I'm running a V12 heavy and a V16 heavy. I just don't have medium pieces over here. I would prefer to run 7 medium, or if I had the Undaunted level 9 passive, I would run 511. But I think even 7 medium at that point is going to be better. So these are just placeholders. There's 2 heavy, 5 medium. I want to run 7 medium when I get all the pieces together. 3 agility, 2 robust and 1 healthy. All weapon damage. Now, as far as the weapon damage and reduction, you can switch this up however you like. The setup I have right now has pretty low regen with really high damage, and that's just how I like to play. I like to play with really high damage. Now, I was blessed with the Maelstrom Bow. It gives armor penetration as a passive. The trait is precise, so you get that crit bonus, which is pretty nice. I think that works really well. But whatever Maelstrom two-handed sword you have, just use that over here. Now, over here, we're using the Maelstrom Bow, and this is the best option unless you have a Master's Bow. If you have a V14 Master's Bow, it's going to be a better option for you. And people are like, oh, it's V14, it has less damage. But the thing is, the Master's Bow, if you apply a poison injection onto someone with a Master's Bow, you're going to get a 300 weapon damage boost onto that target while they're affected with your dot. And your dot lasts for quite a bit of time. I think it's 10 seconds. So you apply this dot to someone with your Master's Bow. Now that person's going to take 300 more extra weapon damage from your attacks. And that's not a 300 damage boost. It's 300 weapon damage that you get a bonus from when you're attacking that specific player. So even though it's V14, it's still the better bow option here. Once they release the V16 Master's Bow, obviously that'll be better. But I don't have the Master's Bow, so the only pieces that I'm really missing is having a Master's Bow that's V14, having a medium Molekina shoulder, and having a medium Bloodspawn helmet. But you can mix and match a few things. Like if you don't want to wear Hunting's Rage, you can wear 5 Shield Breaker, you can wear 5 more cooldown, you can wear 5 Willow's Path. Those are the top picks that I see. There's a few other options you can do. But it's not that complicated. This build has been around for a really long time. A lot of people have done different variations of this build. Let's go into the CP system really quickly. We are capped at 501 CP. If you have lower than 501, you pretty much just downscale whatever you're at. I put 5 into Magician, 60 into Warlord. I put a lot into stamina reduction, and the reason is because our regen isn't that high with this setup, you benefit more from having high cost reduction. Now, if you run a high regen setup, you want to switch it around and put more into recovery. I have 52 points into recovery and 50 into tumbling. 30 points into Bless to increase our healing received. This is really important for your Vigor, Rally, Mark Target heals. 15 points into Heavy Weapon Expert was going to give a boost to our Maul. And I do like to do a lot of light attacks and heavy attacks from Stealth just to boost my my burst damage and my incoming damage. You can put a little into Bow Expert if you really want to, but I prefer to put 15 into Heavy Weapon Expert. Now over here we have 70 into Mighty, 26 into Piercing, 26 into Precise Strikes. This seems like a comfortable setup for me. You can switch this around however you please. 35 points into Critical Resistance, really important to reduce incoming damage. 87 into Hardy, 38 into Elemental Defender. Stacking Hardy is really important, especially against magic builds like Sorcerers. 7 points into Quick Recovery just to get a little bit of extra healing out of this. That's pretty much it, guys. That's the CP system for 501. Mundus Stone, really quickly, guys. Let me show you the stats. The Serpent is what I like to go with because I'm running a few pieces of Divines and stuff like that, so it ends up helping. As far as traits, by the way, you can run Divines on the small piece, Infuse on the big piece, or you can run Impen on the small pieces and Infuse on the big, or run all Impen or all Divines, or whatever you really want to. You can mix and match. It doesn't make a huge difference as far as I'm concerned. Now over here, we're using the Serpent. We are using Magicka and Stamina Recovery. Blue V15 food, which is gonna look like this. It's gonna give you 493 Magicka and Stamina Recovery. And there's different types. I think this one is also the same thing. 493 Magicka and Stamina Recovery for 1 hour. Those are the drinks I like to use. As far as stats are concerned, our Stamina Recovery is 2050 unbuffed. While it's buffed, it's 2, 3, 5, 4. And if you wanted to run Relentless Focus, which is definitely an option for you guys out there, instead of like Mark or Execute, you'll get 2500 stamina recovery, which is not that bad actually. Now on a 2H bar, our buffs rally is 3824, and while we are hidden, it's 4113. So it's a pretty decent amount of weapon damage and stamina recovery with about 50% weapon critical because of the precise that I have on the Maul. And that's just really, really comfortable. Like I hit really hard and I don't really run out of stamina that much. You are going to face some stamina issues if you're heavily outnumbered with 2000 stamina recovery, and then you might want to run more stamina recovery, especially if you're not that experienced. But I've been comfortable with 2050 unbuffed stamina recovery and 28.6k maximum stamina while maintaining 22.4k health because I'm an Imperial. If you're not an Imperial, you might have to drop some of the, you know, stamina for health. Just you want to have at least 20k health. So that's all there is to the build, guys. It's pretty simple. It's an easy build to play. It's a very powerful build to play, and this is probably my favorite stamina Nightblade setup. Obviously, for dueling, I would use the one-handed shield setup because the one-handed shield is just superior in duels. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave comments in the comment section below if you have any questions. Also, check out my other builds on SypherPK.com, and have a great day.